Hi everybody, it's Cindy Davis, the Feel Good Coach, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, do remember to hit the red subscribe button to make sure you don't miss out on any of my videos. So today we're going to be talking about how to create affirmations that really work. And if that's something you're interested in, please keep watching. Okay, so let's get into it. The first thing I've got to say about affirmations is they don't work. Well, that's my experience anyway. You might find that they work for you. Now, here's a bit of a caveat to that. If you're creating an affirmation, which is, if you're not sure what they are, is a statement about what you want or what you, how you want to be, but said in the present tense, and you're supposed to repeat them over and over again, and eventually you will start to believe them or whatever. But I find that affirmations only work if you create them around something you already believe or kind of believe, and so it's affirming, making firm that belief or that thought that you have. So for instance, if I was to say I'm a really good mum, for me that feels true, and therefore that affirmation is affirming, making it firmer. So that works. But when they don't work is the way that a lot of people try and get you to use them, which is to create a new belief or to embed a new belief within you to help you to achieve something you want to achieve. So you might have one that says, I am at a certain level in my network marketing business. I am at, I don't know, manager in my network marketing business, and if you don't believe that you can have that or be that, you're going to hear that little voice going, no you're not, you're never going to be that, no, and you get all the kind of resistance that it comes from, those hidden underneath beliefs that we've got. We've all got them. We've all got beliefs about what we can and can't do, be and have, and those beliefs are largely unconscious. We're not consciously aware of them. So when we're trying to use affirmations to change our beliefs, oftentimes they don't work because they're coming up against that resistance, that little voice that says, no you're not, no you can't, it's not going to happen for you. And so that's my experience of using affirmations, and a lot of people I speak to is that they just don't work because of that resistance. Now, I quite a while ago came across a book by a guy called Noah St. John, and he'd had a very similar experience with affirmations. He'd tried them for years, he'd been saying them, he'd been writing them, every self-help book recommended them, every coach recommended them, and he just couldn't understand why he still had a crappy job and he was living in a crappy apartment. He had no idea what was going on. So one day he basically threw his teddy out the pram, got fed up with this, repeating these affirmations and not getting anywhere. So he started, having a bit of a rant, I guess, and saying, why isn't this working for me? Why can't I get this to work? And what he noticed when he started asking questions was that he started to hear answers back. And that's what happens, because our brains love questions, don't they? Even when someone asks us a rhetorical question and we don't even have to answer it, we still answer it, don't we? So see what I did there? So the thing is, when you ask your brain a question, it has to answer it, or it has to find the answer. It has to go out there and start looking. And also, because it's a question, there's no resistance. There's nothing to disagree with. So we don't get that little voice that goes, no, you're not. No, you can't. So Noah St. John, he decided he would create this new way of changing beliefs, building, forming new beliefs, and he came up with this new word called affirmations. And so obviously it's based on the same kind of principle as affirmations, and affirmations, the word is based on the Latin firmare, which means to make firm, and affirmations is a new word that he created based on the Latin formare, which clearly means to form, to create. And that makes much more sense to me, and hopefully it does to you, when you're trying to create a new belief. Instead of trying to make firm something that doesn't exist, actually creating it and helping it to become a real belief embedded within you is going to be much more powerful. So that it's a really easy thing to do as well. So it's not complicated, and it's one of those things that once you know it, you think, how have I not already known this? It really is that good. And for me, it's been life-changing. So whereas I used to struggle with, I had affirmations for all kinds of things and they never worked, now I have affirmations and I use them quite often. I use them as a mantra, and I'll talk a bit about how you can implement the affirmations that you create to get more of what you want in your life in just a minute. So let's work out, let's tell you how to create your own affirmations. So first of all, I highly recommend you get Noah's book. I say Noah as if I know him, but you know, I don't yet. But if you get, I highly recommend you get Noah's book, the Book of Affirmations. And the reason I recommend it is because obviously he goes into a lot more of behind the scenes stuff on how he created them, but also he's got pages and pages of suggested affirmations that you can just cut and paste, use in your journal, use every day. So I really recommend that book. It's also got lots of success stories in there for you to read and enjoy, and it's a very engaging book. So I'll leave the link down below for you so that you can read it all for yourself, because I do recommend it. So it's really simple. All the things that you used to have affirmations for the old way, you're just going to tweak them and make them into affirmations. So where we might have an affirmation that says, I am a manager in my network marketing business, you might want to change that to, why am I a manager in my network marketing business? Now I know that sounds weird and it might feel like you're questioning yourself, but what actually happens is, first of all, why am I a manager in my network marketing company? Or why have I created a massive business for myself? Why have I attracted the perfect partner? Why am I madly in love? Why is everything working out for me? You know, when you create these affirmations, what happens is, first of all, you don't have that resistance. So all of those suggestions are just kind of whizzing under the radar, getting into your unconscious mind and starting to work on your beliefs. So having a belief that everything works out for me is going to be very helpful in terms of my positive thinking and being able to attract the things that I want in my life. So instead of saying everything's always working out for me, which I might get that little voice that says, no it's not because your car broke down last week. Instead of getting that, if we do it as an affirmation, why is everything always working out for me? So then what happens is, first of all, no resistance, goes straight in. Second, my brain then has to start looking for all the answers because, of course, as we've already discussed, our brains love answering questions. So it's going to go off and find all the examples to show why everything's always working out for me. Well, this thing went well and that thing went well and this fell in your lap and all these circumstances worked so that you could do this, that and the other. And you start to get that sort of affirming evidence that can help to really make that belief strong. And also make us open to, you know, attracting that stuff into our lives. And if you're into law of attraction, then this is going to be really powerful stuff for you. So that's really as simple as it is. You know, you literally just take the thing you want and you stick why in front of it and then you just say it. It's really that simple. So why am I so happy is one of my favorites. Why am I so loving is a great one, especially because why am I so loving is incorporating not just everybody else, but also loving myself. And I find that a really useful one. Why am I so calm and confident when I'm about to go and meet somebody new or stand up and do a talk or something like that? So hopefully you're getting an idea of some of the affirmations that you could create. I suggest that you sit down, if you've already got affirmations, sit down and see if you want to tweak them into affirmations instead. And when you say them, see how they feel. And if it feels good, keep saying it. If it doesn't feel so good, maybe tweak it until it does feel good. So that's how to create your own affirmations. And they are like affirmations that really work, like super powered affirmations. So I really recommend that you give it a go. How to use them? You use them in the same way as you would your affirmations. So you can write them out, you can journal them every day, you can put them on post-it notes and stick them up all around the house, which is one of the things I like to do and drive everyone crazy who lives with me, and I'll have it on my desktop background, on my phone, on my screensaver, things like that, everywhere I can to remind me of what my affirmations are. A really powerful way of using them as well, if you want to, is to grab your phone and just on your phone, I think most people have got now like a voice memo app, a voice recorder, so you can record yourself saying your affirmations and then listen to that back. And that is really powerful because that's your voice saying those to you into your ears, and that really has a big impact. And another really good way to use affirmations is to pick one that's really meaningful to you, that will help you in sort of all areas of your life. So for instance, my why am I so loving, and just use it like a mantra. So you just repeat it over and over again in your head. You can do it out loud if you want to. I sometimes do in front of other people, but most of the time I'll do it inside my head. And so what that's doing is a kind of drowning out our sort of natural default to negative thinking. We have this natural default because, you know, we haven't really evolved that much since we lived in caves, and in those days we had to look out for danger all the time, and so that's why we have this sort of natural bent towards thinking about of the negative and looking out for what's going to go wrong. But of course we don't really need that anymore. We don't live in caves, we're not in danger all the time, so really it's better if we can think more positive, and that's why we need to do work, you know, every day, like having a shower, to help us think more positively and be happier. So having a mantra like why am I so loving, or why am I so happy, and using that as much as you can whenever you think of it, you know, having, like I said, you know, post-its around to remind you, can really help to shift the way you feel very quickly, because you're less drowning out all that sort of natural negative thinking. How else could you use it? Fridge magnets, you could write them out with fridge magnets, stick them on your vision board, on your in your dream book, and yeah, all the different ways that you would normally use affirmations. So that's how you can create your own affirmations that really work by using affirmations instead. I highly recommend you get Noah St. John's book, The Book of Affirmations, and I'll leave a link down below for you so it'll make it really easy for you. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, please do subscribe and make sure you don't miss out, and I'll speak to you again really soon.